Hi, I'm Mike, and you're watching Spiritual Combat. And today, what I'm talking about is pornography addiction, sexual addiction, and lust, and all that stuff like that. And in my life, I struggled with it. It's like when I grew up, nobody explained it to me. I wasn't told to stay away from it, and I feel like people should be warned extremely, stay away from this thing. It could suck you in, you know, because I mean, I got sucked into it. Just growing up, I got some. I remember one time I was walking across the parking lot, found a porn magazine. Another time we were in New York City and found a tape. It was a porn tape, and just throughout my life, and nobody really explaining, it's just the information isn't out there telling you how much of a drug that this thing is, this porn. And then, of course, in 2000, got the military, whatever, out the Air Force. And in 2000, got my first computer. And, soon as everybody went to bed, first thing, let me see if there's porn on here. And that was it. The rest was, I'll just, for the next, I'd say for the next 12 years, it was spank fest. You know what I'm saying? Because all the pornography on the internet. And it's like, that thing has everybody caught up in it now. They were saying, like, in the early 2000, 2001, 2002, when the internet was coming on, if you didn't have a conscience and you wanted to make a ton of money, just open up a porn site and trade the porn pictures, and you could make, people were becoming rich off that because it was just growing so fast. And then I've heard that majority of the searches and activity on the internet is porn stuff. And the other thing, if you want to, and this is kind of a little bit off topic, but technology, people praise technology as, oh, it makes our lives easier. But if you want to see the real purpose of technology, it just, what technology really does is Satan's little tool to make sinning easier. And let me give you a good example. Back in the 60s or whatever, you had to go to a movie theater or something like that. Not even a movie theater. You had to go get a hooker or something if you wanted to dabble in, sex and stuff like that or whatever. And if you wanted to see porn like in the 70s and 80s, or in the 70s, you had to go to a movie theater. Okay? If you wanted to see porn in the 80s, you had to get a VCR and go to a VCR store and rent out a porn tape. So you had to go in public, get the tape. Same thing in the 90s, you get a DVD or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could order it through a magazine or whatever. In 2000s, you could go on the internet and look at it on your computer. And now, 2010, 2008, all that, you got a cell phone. You could just get your cell phone and go in the bathroom. And now, pretty soon, they're coming out with the glasses, so you could just be wherever you're at looking at it. It's completely private. So it just, when you look at everything, sin gets easier and easier. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same with the porn. And, and I was hooked on it. I was hooked on it bad. And I got a lot of willpower. I'm a driven person. I know, I can buckle down and, discipline myself, but I was completely powerless against that, and I couldn't just keep that fight up forever. Eventually it just wear away at me. And I was like, what's going on? And you go into church and the only thing they could do is sit there and say, it's wicked. You're sinning, you know, but they don't give you any answers. But the answers are in the Bible. The answers are in the Word. So what happened was, I think it was 2011 or something like that. But I was just sitting there on the internet, one of my days off. I was just browsing around looking at music stuff and everything. And I was looking at a picture of Nicki Minaj, Drake, and Lil Wayne. And I was looking at their eyes, and I noticed that I was like, man, something's not right about them. I was like, just their eyes, something doesn't look right. And I was like, come to think of it, like Jay-Z's music is kind of off and not right. See, you know, it's like something's not right about it. You know what I'm saying? About some of the stuff he's saying. And I started looking into it, and I just saw, after researching into it, I saw how they were like, how wicked all that stuff was, how there's a lot of satanic stuff in the music industry, and how that music industry is given to Satan, how wicked that music industry really is. And then I dove into how wicked the political system is. Then I dove into how wicked the movies are. Then I dove into how wicked the churches were. And then I realized that I was wicked too, you know what I'm saying? And just that was how I initially got into the truth and truly began to seek God with all my heart, mind, and soul. But what ended up happening, you know, I was convicted and I was like shocked. I was like in scared amazement with how wide and big the deception was everywhere. And I was just in awe, and I realized how true and real the Bible really was, and how God really was trying to keep us safe and is trying to keep us safe with all of his laws, statutes, and commandments and everything like that that's in the Bible. Anyway, and then I realized, man, I'm looking at this daggone porn, man. And I felt convicted, like in my heart, I was really ashamed and sad and just, I didn't want to look at it. And there have been times prior to that, I was like, I don't want to look at this thing here, man. I was like, but something in me is making me look at it, and I'm powerless to stop looking at it. And I said to myself, you know what? I said a prayer to the Lord, a real no-joke prayer. I said, Lord, I can't stop looking at this stuff. I was like, I'm powerless. I was like, I can't do nothing about it. I was like, when the desire comes up, I'm going to just look at it. I'm not going to try to resist it. But I said, Lord, what I am going to do, I said, I'm going to pray, fast, seek you. I'm going to give up anything I could give up. You know, I right off the bat, I gave up drinking, going out to the club. I was fasting. Anytime I got a chance, I cut all my friends off that were trying to pull me away. And I was always praying. I was like, and I literally had cut everybody out of my life. And it's funny because at my job, a lot of people I knew, a situation happened with basically the situation caused me to just get pissed at everybody, and I wasn't talking to anybody at work. I was just completely on my own, and just kind of in the Lord's presence, kind of like just like in the spirit or whatever. You know, I wasn't walking around like, acting crazy, but I was just, my mind was just like open to God or something. On my lunch breaks, I just eat my lunch real quick and go off to myself and be reading my Bible, just meditating on God all the time and just seeking him. I gave up drinking Coca-Cola or anything with caffeine, like anything that will alter or mess with my mind. I stopped playing basketball. I just stopped everything. I because I invest in real estate right now also, I quit doing that. The only thing I was doing with all my free time was seeking the Lord and praying and fasting and saying these, like where it says in the Bible that the Spirit will pray for you or tell you what to say or whatever. I mean, I was saying these prayers that I could feel them coming out straight from my heart. Where I wanted to give this thing up. I knew that. I mean, I felt seriously sorry that I was doing what I was doing, looking at this porn and all this stuff. So, but anyway, so I said that prayer and I prayed throughout the day and all that. And the next thing you know, 3 months had passed and I hadn't looked at it. You know, and now here it's going on 3 or 4 years, and you know, I haven't looked at it or masturbated to porn, because let's call it, when I say look, that's what I mean is whacking off to it, you know, and that's what people are out here doing. But so all these years have passed and I haven't looked at it, and now with my knowledge and my understanding of the Bible, I realized what was really going on. And when you study the spirit world and demonology and how these demons work, I had given place to a demon in me to look at that internet porn. That was a demon driving me to look at that. I mean, and I could tell you some crazy stories where I knew it was something wasn't right. I mean, something was making me have control of me. I'm telling you, man. And all that to come back and say, man, if you want to get over looking at this internet porn, like, don't try to do it with your own will. There's no way you can. These things, you've made some type of agreement or some type of ritualistic agreement unbeknownst to yourself. You don't realize it, but you have given place to a demon in you to make you look at that stuff. And you don't have the willpower to overcome that. You can't. This is on a spiritual level. You need Jesus. This is why you really do need Jesus to come in and get that thing out of you. But the one thing you have to do is not want it. You can't want to look at that stuff. You gotta want to get rid of it. Okay? You're gonna have the desire to look at it, but you gotta say, Lord, I don't want to do this, but something's making me do it, and you gotta know that, feel it in your heart, and just seek Him to get this thing off you. And you gotta seek Him with your heart, mind, and soul. And when I say that, I don't mean, Lord, I don't want to do this. Yeah, but what are you gonna give Him? Okay? Give something up. Give up what you can give up. You can stop eating for a day. And let me tell you, when you stop eating for a day, you ain't going to be horny. You ain't going to be wanting to look at no porn. You're going to want to get something to eat. But you can stop eating. You might not be able to stop looking at the porn, but I know you could stop eating. If you can't stop eating, well, find something else you could stop doing. But sacrifice something to Him. Show Him that you want to get this thing off you. And I mean, and He got it off me. And I know it was spiritual because I couldn't get it off me my whole life. Okay? But yeah, you know, pray. The key is just pray, fast, and seek the Lord. Pray throughout the day. You don't have to sit there, oh Lord, you know, I wasn't doing all that crazy stuff. I was just in my mind, I was just talking to Him throughout the whole day. You know what I'm saying? When I say fast, I don't just mean fast from food. Fast from watching TV, fast from society and the media and everybody and friends and everything, and get this thing off you. Okay? That's what I mean fast. When I say seek the Lord, study your Bible. See if there's people like me talking about this truth on the internet or whatever that could help you and point you in the right direction. You know, that's what you have to do. You know, don't focus on trying to will yourself to stop looking at the internet. No. Focus on getting to know God, getting closer to God. Focus on that. Focus on getting to know him. It's funny, like that whole period, if I could do a facial expression to show what I was, like my mind frame or the way I was walking around was like, wow. I was like I was walking around like that. Like, man, but realizing that this whole world is deceived and this whole thing's a deception and Satan's alive and well, and I was deceived, and this whole thing in this Bible is alive and it's come alive. It was just, I was just in awe, and even to this day now, I don't watch TV, I don't have cable. I watch YouTube videos and stuff like that of sermons on TV, but I try not to put myself in positions where I'm looking at like I try not to go to the beach. I really don't go to the beach because them women are damn near walking around there naked. The thing is, as we're in the end times and as we move on, people are going to have to come into this truth because sex is going to be put more and more in your face, and you're going to have to be able to, there's billboards up there with half-naked women. I remember we went to the shopping center here near where I live, and the Victoria's Secret store had this, it was basically soft porn right there on a whole window of the whole place. You couldn't miss it. You go to the gym, and the gym is worse than a strip club now because everybody's wearing yoga pants, bending over, doing all these nasty stretches. You know what I'm saying? So it's getting to a point where your mind has to be girded, and you got to get delivered from this thing in the true biblical sense. Because I saw a video on YouTube, and of course, my video don't look all elaborate, but this video, it was from some big mega church, one of those kind of new churches, targeting the younger people, I guess. But anyway, everything's professional, great camera, it's a professional operation. And they're up there speaking, and the preacher is speaking how his son's been dealing with internet porn, this, that, and the other, and they prayed about it. And then they went to counseling, and they got this thing. They got this thing put on the computer to block it. And then he had a relapse, and then they got another thing put on the computer where if he started looking at it, it'd send it to his father and notify him. And he was really seeking, that didn't work. And then because he started looking at it on his cell phone, and at the end, basically at the end of the video, he's like, so we're just praying and we're trusting God on this thing and this, that, and the other. Man, and that's typical of what the church is going to tell you. Just, and they were trying, but they just haven't come into the truth. You got to go seek the Lord with all your heart, mind, and soul. You got to really want God, and you got to understand that, you got to truly want deliverance from this thing, and you got to fight for it. It has to be a knockdown, drag out fight, like what you saw, like a good analogy, a good example of what I'm talking about is if you watch like Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers, some of these war movies, and it's almost similar to Real War or something like that. But what it is you're training, okay? You're in basic training. Boom, everything's organized. Okay, you put the gun here, then you shoot it here, and then you look twice, and then you do this, and all these procedures, and they're training you, but nothing can prepare you for the real war. The real war is just knock down, drag out, war, bam, everything's fast-paced, sloppy, all over the place. Same thing with me with playing basketball. I go to the gym, you know, I'm doing, you watch people, you know, they're shooting, they're going through their shooting drills, you know, doing all types of stuff. But when you really in the game, you getting bumped, smacked, hit, you know, rarely do you get a nice open shot like that. When you're driving in, it's most of the time it's some weird, awkward one-hand shot. Everything's fast-paced, sloppy, you know, and it's just knock down, drag out, sloppy, nasty, ugly warfare, man. That's how this thing is, getting delivered from this thing. You just got to fight, claw, dig, and do what you can to get delivered from this thing. Because it's what you're fighting is a spirit. You got a demon in you. A demon is taking over and is making you look at that. You know what I'm saying? And you go, that's what it is. And you need to, the key is you can't fight it. You need to seek God and let him send something down there and to run that thing off. This is war, man. You are in war. That's why this site, that's why my thing is called Spiritual Combat. And a lot of times I'm wearing military clothing because I'm a soldier, man. This thing is ugly, you know. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I could feel my mind just saying right. And I got to pray that stuff off me, man. Because Satan's always, it says he walks around, he's always walking around looking for somebody to devour. You know, it's a constant war. And it's funny how a lot of the analogies in the Bible are warfare-like analogies because we are in a war. So yeah, and that's how this thing is. And the more you look at that, the more you look at this porn, the deeper it's gonna suck you in. And you know, a pastor I listened to really broke it down good. He was saying how there's a lot of people out there, they didn't know that they were gonna open that one internet page and look at that pornography, and then 10 years later they'd be at some low depraved level. You know, people don't know where it's going to take them. Same thing with drugs and all that other stuff. They didn't know they'd sniff that, whatever they sniffed at one time, or do that one hit of meth or whatever it was, and then it take them all the way down to the bottom, you know, and possibly destroy them and kill them. This thing, man, you need to declare war, man. That's spiritual combat, man. We at war, you know. If you on my page and you watching this, you're in the war. You know, you a soldier with me. So, but anyway, I hope this thing was helpful. Subscribe to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. If you have questions or anything like that, send me an email. And I'm Mike, and have a nice day.